What's up, guys? It's episode 300. Welcome back to the show. It's Jacqueline. Welcome back to the show. Happy Sunday. Episode 300. Here we are. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that this is my 300th episode. I did it. I'm here. I have arrived. I feel like this is a big milestone for some reason. I'm not sure why. Like 200 was cool. 100 was cool. This seems like big time. So I'm going to spend a good first, I'd say a big quarter of the Jacqueline, hi guys. Okay, what just happened? I'm gonna spend a quarter of the episode reflecting on my podcasting journey up until this point. I'm gonna look back in time. I'm gonna talk about why I think this worked for me and what I've learned along the way, and going to even read from my old podcasting notebook, my first ever notebook I used to take notes. I think that'll be kind of fun to look back on. So yeah, we're gonna reflect on the show to start off, and then I'm gonna talk about my ski trip. I told you guys last week. Guys, okay, the noises I make, I might address that in the reflection, because that little I don't know why I do it. I don't know if it's fun to listen to, but sorry. Very emotional today. I'm very like 300 episodes. I gotta bring it. I gotta send it for you guys. I gotta show up and just make this memorable. I don't know. Okay. So I'm gonna recap. What was I saying? My ski trip to Mammoth. I told you guys about last week. I went there for Thanksgiving. I need to do that. I need to update you guys on how I did on my skis and what I learned about my abilities after not skiing for 6 years. And we're going to talk about reproductive robots. We're going to be talking about current events, and also like, what else should I talk about? Maybe like my insecurities and the things I'm struggling with. It might be relatable to you, and I could do a little therapy session with myself at the end, like I always do. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is episode 300. I'm going to bring you back to September 4th, 2020, when I set out to podcast every single day for a year. So if you do the math, I did not complete that. I ended at just under 300 episodes in June. So I did it 7 days a week until June, and then I took July off, and now I've come back about once a week. Yes, I have come. I do this every Sunday now, so now I'm a once a week podcaster. Anyways, now here's the thing. When I set out to podcast every single day of the week, I didn't really have a clear, you know what it was? Oh my gosh, guys, I have to actually tell this. I wish I took notes, guys. I don't even remember. I kind of forget what happened, but here's the thing. I didn't really have a plan or a why. I just knew that when I recorded my first episode, I was like, this is it. I want to do this every single day for the rest of my life. I love it. Like I did it. I sat on my couch. I had my old AirPods, the corded ones with the little microphone. I sat on my couch. I recorded my first podcast, and everything, all the stars aligned, and I was like, I just found my passion. I just found my hobby. So that's why I was like, oh, I want to do this tomorrow, and the next day, and I got the bug, I got the itch, I got the craving for it, and I was like, I'll do this 7 days a week. This is going to be a daily show. And it was up until June. So the story, I didn't even tell you guys, like, or I haven't said this in a while. The reason why I even made a podcast was because I was sitting on my couch. As many of you know who listen to the show, I'm a big YouTube podcast watcher. Instead of sitting down at night after a long day and putting on a Netflix show or a movie, I'm the type of person who likes to go on YouTube and watch conversations, watch people talk on a podcast. So, I happened to be watching the 5-hour Duncan Trussell Rogan episode, where I feel like they wear like the space suits. I don't know. It was the last episode in his old studio before he moved to Austin. And about 10 minutes in, I got a DM from someone because that day I had a story going on my Instagram, at Jacqueline Monroe. Follow me on Instagram. Also subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Also, patreon.com/TJMS if you want to support the show. I'm plugging everything right now. I don't care. Patreon.com/TJMS if you want to subscribe to my exclusive content and get access to my extra... Am I doing extra episodes now? I don't know. We'll talk about that. But yeah, if you like what you're listening to, if you want to support me, because like I said, this is I want to make this, I don't know, like, I can just see myself retiring as a podcast host. Like, I love this. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So $5 a month, go support me over there. Patreon.com/TJMS. Check it out. Subscribe on YouTube. And also, yeah, this is a big deal for me. Watch me on Spotify. If you have the Spotify app, you can now watch my video podcast there on Spotify. Okay, anyways, back to the story of my first episode. Yeah, about 10 minutes in, I got a DM from someone. They were responding to my story. His name is, I think, Kanye or Kane. I think it's Kane. But it looks like Kanye when I read it. He sent me something and it said, he responded like, oh, that's something about what I had, maybe I wrote. I used to write a lot of deep thoughts and ideas on my story and send them out. And he said something back to that. And he's like, you should do a podcast on this. And without hesitation, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is, I'm not even, oh my God, Jacqueline, I'm not even kidding. I hate when people say that. I'm not even, no, I'm not kidding. No joke. It's like, no one's not believing you right now, Jacqueline. Just keep telling the story. I'm not even kidding. Without hesitation, I went to my old junk drawer. I'm looking at it right now. This really old, like, Victorian dresser. And the top of it is a drawer where I keep all my, like, random paper clips and tape and nails and cords and things. So I grabbed my old headphones and I sat on my couch, paused the Rogan episode about 10 minutes in, and you have to understand, I was committed. Like, it was I popped some popcorn. It was like 8 p.m. I'm like, I'm watching this all night until I'm done with the 5 hours. Because it was like a symbolic thing. I don't know why. Because judge me if you want. I'm a big fan of the Joe Rogan Experience, as many of you listening probably are, and I always like the Duncan episodes, and I thought it was pretty cool they did it for 5 hours, and anyways, so I plugged my headphones into my iPhone 7 Plus, holding it up here. I'm also going to talk about this iPhone in a second. Plugged my headphones in, and I did a 2020 recap. So on September 4th, I recapped my life from the start of the pandemic up until September. And I basically went through each month. I talked about my story, about what happened to me. You know what I did for my 200th episode? Now I'm just remembering it now. You can actually listen to my first episode. It's episode 200. So go listen to that and then listen to me now, or like listen to the latest ones. Like, it's crazy to listen to that because I was so down and sad and in a low place in life. I'm sure a lot of you were out there during 2020. It was such a weird time, and it was almost like a audio vlog. Like, I had dabbled with vlogging during 2020 and I was trying to make something happen with my YouTube channel, and then I stopped because I was all depressed. I just couldn't keep doing it. I just didn't have the energy and I wasn't feeling creative enough to keep doing vlogs. So I stopped. And then I treated that first episode like, okay, I don't know I literally have 100 subscribers on YouTube. Like, to the 5 people out there wondering what's been going on with me, here's the audio vlog, first ever podcast life update. Like, where have I been? What's going on? So yeah, I put it out on SoundCloud. I think I posted it. I posted the link on my Instagram. I didn't have 10K at the time, so you couldn't swipe up. But yeah, and I never stopped. So here we are, episode 300. What have I learned? How have I guess, changed as a person since then? And how have I grown as a person since then? Yeah, let's talk about it. So I remember that. I remember that episode well. And let's just say that my first month of podcasting, this notebook here is pretty much all those episodes, all the notes for him. That first month was the most, how do I say it? Let's just say I had so much fun. I had so much fun getting up every morning. I usually did a morning show. I record in the morning and drink coffee, and I'd go to the gym first, and I'd sit down right here and record my show. And I never had so much fun in my life talking on a microphone. Like, that was, I just look back at that time and I was so happy. It made me happy. It was like a release. It was like a therapy for me, because I was talking about what was going on in my life, in the world, and I was trying to make sense of it all. And yeah, so I remember, and then, I got the momentum where, okay, month 1 is down, month 2, month 3, month 4. Like, I just kept doing it. And yeah, I guess it's like, okay, the rest is history. I never looked back. But I do remember that first month being the most crazy, exhilarating solo life experience I've ever had. And like, I've traveled alone, I've done things alone before, but nothing like a podcast, and nothing like storytelling to random people on the internet, and nothing like that. So woo! Speaking of storytelling, I found this is one of my favorite things I ever wrote. I don't know why. It's like one of my first notes. It says, everything ever is about storytelling, which is so true. I love telling stories. I love listening to stories. Stories are everything. Yeah, everything is about storytelling. I learned that especially in business. Like, if you can tell a compelling story that brings people to tears, they'll buy your product. You can make people feel something with your story about your product or your service, they're more likely to buy. It's all about stories, okay? I used to want to be a news reporter. My mom, so this is like a quick tangent, but I went to college and I set out to do broadcasting, and I wanted to be a news reporter. And I even went to London and studied abroad and did journalism, and basically reported on events I would attend. Like, as my assignments were like, okay, go to Wimbledon, go to the Tate Modern and look at an art exhibit and come back and report on it, or go to a ballet, or go to a play, like whatever it was that we were assigned to go to, I had to come back and report on that. So I thought I was going to be a journalist, and I even toured the BBC. I got to do like mock news reporting. Like, I got to sit in front of a green screen and do that kind of stuff. So report the weather. And anyways, I had at the time started, and that was in 2014-ish, 2013, 14. At the time, because I was an avid news reader, I started questioning the news. I started seeing a shift, and it was starting to look a lot different from the news I grew up with or I'd always seen. And I don't know how else to explain it other than I felt like for the first time when I would watch the news, read the news, or, come across it on social media, I was being like, it was almost as if I was being told how I should feel about something and how I should think about a story based on a journalist, like a news reporter's opinion they're sharing with me as they sat there and talked about it. Like instead of just sharing the news, it was a lot. It started to become, and now you guys have all seen how this has evolved, and now it's 2021. But it was like instead of just sharing the news objectively, it was like, here's the news, here's my opinion, here's the ideological, political slant, and it looked like it was getting a lot more theatrical, dramatic, a lot more opinionated, and I guess clickbaity than it ever had. And so I started to see that shift. And you guys, again, you've seen how this is all played out, and now it's just it's a mess. It's corrupt. It's a mess. I feel like there's a ton of people out there right now. It's almost like it seems like the majority of people out there right now are in agreement that the news is corrupt. And that's crazy, because it's like, and it happened like during the pandemic. We were in a washing machine of information. We never got a straight answer about coronavirus. It was like, and even now it's like with the vaccine, with the new variants, with booster shots, with all of these coronavirus related topics, it's like you don't know how to get a straight answer. Or you don't know how. Yeah, you don't know. It's like, how do you go about it? And no wonder people are confused and paralyzed about moving forward with getting vaccinated, or making decisions about their health, because it's confusing. And we're all being fed information according to what we click and what we like and who we follow, and we're all in our own tunnels, our own personalized information tunnels on the internet, and everyone's is different. And so that's the craziest thing. I'll say this. I have had so many conversations throughout this pandemic time we're in where I'm talking to someone and they're making great points. They're making great arguments about how the virus should be handled, the vaccine, maybe not just pandemic related stuff, maybe political related stuff. Whatever they're saying is like, they're on point in their own, they're making, it's like they make sense, and they're so convinced as they're talking about it. They're so passionate and like, yes, this is the way, this is the truth, this is the light, this is how things should be handled, this is who should be in the White House right now, and this is how whatever it is. You guys all know everything's political or COVID related. That's how conversations always go these days for whatever reason. And I feel like it's on purpose. Some little puppeteer somewhere is making that all happen for us. They're just, it's working. Whatever's going on behind the scenes of all this, because there's got to be something. It's working. People are debating, arguing, fighting over politics and coronavirus constantly. So, anyways, what's crazy is that I listen to these people talk and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, I'm not getting that information at all. Like, what I'm seeing is literally the opposite of what they're saying, and what I'm seeing, in my opinion or in my mind, makes more sense. But they think their opinion makes more sense. But if you put the two together, if you put this opinion and this opinion, or their opinion and your opinion together, and it's like they both work, or they both make sense. And it's like what, I don't know what that's called, but yeah, like, God, I could do a whole I feel like I could do a whole podcast on how I've navigated that, because it's so hard. And at this point, I'm like, I'm sick and tired of talking about it. I'm sick and tired of people debating me about it, or trying to, everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to share their opinion, and there's no, people are just not down to listen to each other anymore and like come to a consensus about anything, and it's so wild. So anyways, I mentioned, okay, so back to my news reporter story. Sorry, I got off a little there, but something else I noticed about, am I even recapping my 300th episode journey? I am. This is that segment, right? Sorry, I forgot how this happened. Whatever. I started to notice also with the news that, I think I mentioned school shootings earlier, that they were making bad things a thing. And I feel like in terms of the school shootings happening, the news was responsible for them continuing to happen, because all of a sudden they're reporting it. It's on the, after a big blow up happens at a school, or, like the Vegas shooting, for example, it's like they're talking about it. They're unpacking it for months. I mean, they're just hitting this thing hard every single day of the week on the news. And I feel like it became a thing, and broken down people out there, people with severe, disturbed minds or issues or whatever, who wanted to make a scene. Maybe they were suicidal. Maybe they, they had this rage they need to take out on something or someone or a bunch of people. They would see that on the news. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go do that now. Like, they got the idea. It's like the news reported it so much. They've reported it for so long, I guess since Columbine, that it's planting seeds. It's putting that idea in these young kids' minds, and they're going out and doing it. And I question whether or not the frequency of these shootings would happen if the news did not cover it. I'm talking about, like, first of all, national news doesn't exist. There's no such thing as national news anymore. It's all about, there's audiences. Like, there's these news outlets are putting out stories to certain audience, like pods, certain types of audiences now. But we can't just like look to a national news outlet anymore as the main one, or what am I saying, that appeals to everybody. They're literally just putting out, it's crazy. They're like putting out stories for specific audiences. So I guess they've always done that, but anyways, so I have a beef with the news about school shootings. I feel like they are hugely responsible for, like I said, the frequency and the frequency of them, because if no kid was ever exposed to that, would they grab a gun and go into their cafeteria at their school and shoot it up? You know what I mean? It's like, how many times has that happened, and why has that happened? It's just, I question. There's another reason I have beef with the news. It's like, so I didn't become a news reporter. What I do, I got my degree in PR. This might be a 2-hour episode. Honestly, I got a lot to cover. We still got to talk about the reproductive robots. We still got to talk about, I got to educate myself about Omicron. I'm sick and tired talking about the virus, like I said. But we got to talk about Omicron. I got to know what it's doing. Where's it at? What's going on with that? Why'd they name it that? I don't know why. I guess I know why, but we got to talk about my podcast notes. Does anyone out there right now feel that way, or have you ever thought of that? I just can't do it anymore. I haven't for a while. The news is just I don't really have rage and anger, but I do with I literally work with the media. You have to understand, I have a regular PR job outside of my podcasting hobby, and I work directly with the media, and what I'm doing is a lot different than I'm not on the news side of things, but I get really like, I want to see it change. And I know this is a hot topic on a lot of podcasts out there about, everyone's talking about the news, and I'm doing it, but yeah, I got a lot of, I'm pissed. I don't think this is just, what's the solution? I don't know. The solution is objective, straightforward, no BS journalism. Get your opinions out of there. Get your political ideologies and your bullshit narratives out of there. That's the thing. It's like now everyone knows this. It's all about clicks and views and attention, and they're just starving for eyeballs. And people are, I mean, CNN's numbers, it's like, it's I'm not surprised. No one, like, are we surprised? No, but you have to realize that every time you see these, like, the headlines, I see the headlines and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's sad. It's just, it's like desperation. It's like, so episode 300's going in a weird place, going to a weird place. You know what? I didn't even set the scene, guys. It's 4 p.m. on a Sunday. I went to the beach with my dog earlier, and I've got my iced coffee, my iced Americano here. No, almond milk latte here. Wait, I put pumpkin spice in this. I forgot. It's great. I'm slumping just a little bit, but we're going to perk back up. I'm going to take a little breather. We're going to come back and talk about my podcast notebook and some of the funny stuff I wrote in it. So see ya in 2 seconds. Okay, this is my Moleskin Cashier notebook. That's the model. That's the make and model of my podcasting notebook. I'm a big fan of Moleskin. I like flexible notebooks. They make a lot of hardcover notebooks, but I really like the way this feels, and I'm kind of like, you know, when you touch something and it's just like, it's satisfying. That's how I feel about these notebooks. So get yours today, Amazon.com. Pack of 3 is like $20. I know it might sound steep for a notebook, but they're great. And yeah, I can't recommend them enough. Shout out Moleskin. Like my, wow, episode 15. What do we got here? I used to do coffee facts. I used to start the episode with coffee facts, and since I did it 7 days a week, I would do a 24-hour update. So I would recap what happened since I last spoke on the episode. And looks like here I got Froyo. Episode 15, I got Froyo. I murdered a zit on my cheek. I went to yoga. I installed my soundproof, which is behind me right now. This cheesy little, like, podcast studio soundproof. I like it here. You know what? My studio's cute. You guys, you see the candle today? I got a little snowman. This is Walter. I think we named him on an episode around Christmas time last year. This is Walter. Yeah, I love my studio. I love my little desk area, my computer setup. Everything's great here. No shame in this setup. I'm not fancy. You guys see my Popstar headset. I'm not fancy. This cost me, yeah, this was like a $30 purchase on Amazon, my microphone. And I like it. Ow, ooh, fuck, hamstring cramp. Actual hamstring. I went running 2 days ago. Charlie horse in my hamstring. I haven't gotten, okay. Sorry. Hold on. I don't edit. This is staying in. I actually edited a little bit today. You guys might have heard it. So I got a little brain dead at a couple parts. Just keeping it real. Holy shit. Yeah, I went running a couple days ago and my hamstring hurts. And cool. All right. Yeah. I like looking like a pop star. That's what I was saying. I like this little cute headset setup. Whatever. The quality is not as great as it could be, but I like it. So yeah, looks like I installed my soundproof. Oh, at the time I was talking about a stock I invested in, and I said this oil company better get drilling so I can make some. I think I was swing trading at the time, an oil company. Shit. Oh, The Social Dilemma. This was on the day that came out. I said, got real 2006 with my shit last night. Christmas music pumpkin bread. I made that. This is a stress-free zone. Oh, I was just such a jackass. I was like, used to tell you guys to be 100% present, because we all have attention issues, and we can't stay on one thing for a long period of time. And I was like, I want my show to be the time of your day that you're 100% present and you literally listen to it. Because at the time, I was doing video at the time. You listen or watch it all the way through with no distractions. You can't have your cell phone with you. You can listen on your cell phone, but you can't be on, like, scrolling on it. You have to be 100% present. Like, you're sitting, like it's 1940 and you're sitting by the radio, and you know how people used to do that? So I was like, I want this to be that again for everyone. I want, what I say? No multitasking allowed. I just think I used to say bullshit. Like, I just think it's mad disrespectful if you're multitasking while you're listening to the Jacqueline Monroe Show. I was different then. I'm a lot more, okay, I know today's a boring episode. Like, compared to I feel like most of my episodes are like, they're a wild ride. Because that's the thing. The reason I love podcasting is because it's this huge creative release that I get to come up with on the fly. Like, it's not like I'm reading a script, you know what I mean? And I love that rush of keeping people's attention with my voice and having to come up with the next things to say as I'm talking. It's just like I love it. So it's so fun. And I feel like when I first started, I was just like, I was trying everything. I was saying it all. I was being as wild and as expressive, and I would literally, I would go to the line and then I'd cross it a lot, meaning I would say the most extreme thing to get a rise, to make it entertaining. I feel like the best entertainers out there are the ones that don't give a shit, and they're just like, I'm going to say the thing everyone's thinking, and I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to cross it, and then I'm going to make everyone uncomfortable. And that is, I feel like, a great, it's a skill I admire in a lot of people out there. And yeah, I dabbled in that. I did a lot of that in my first phase of podcasting. I still do it. You guys, you know, I still say some wild shit, but anyways, let me see what else I wrote. Let's do like another. Here's a piece of paper that says drink water. I used to like put signs around my apartment. I used to be depressed in 2020. That's like, go listen to, what was it, episode 200, my first episode. I don't actually, that's not actually my first episode because it was on SoundCloud. I never actually posted it to, say actually again, I never actually posted it to SoundCloud or Spotify and iTunes, but I was depressed, and so I used to like put signs around my apartment that says I can do hard things. I like glittered it. It's kind of abstract looking. I can do hard things. I like that one. This one is inspired by Stevie Emerson. It says it's all mental. Shout out Slappers Only TV on Instagram. You guys have probably seen a lot of their sketches. So yeah, let's go to like my first note. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Podcast princess. This is something I wrote. I'm a podcast princess. I'm America's sweetheart. Episode 12 - Who's Triggered? Oh yeah. I used to think it was really triggering for people and annoying to people that I podcasted every day, and at the time I wouldn't shut up about it, and I was posting it every single day all over my Instagram, and I was like, another episode, another episode, another episode, another day, another episode. So yeah. Oh, life equals game, level up. That was probably... Oh, I love this thing I wrote. Gratitude to this sounds so nice. Gratitude to the people who paved the path before me. I wrote that note because, I had watched and listened to podcasts for about a decade, and they showed me the way. And I'm so thankful that there are creators out there, there are content creators. There are podcast hosts out there that have done it before me because they were my inspiration. You know, shout out Joe Rogan, like Joseph Rogan. Like, I don't know, is his full name Joseph? Is it annoying that I've mentioned him now just 2 times? Is it first of all, is it controversial to like Joe Rogan? Like, some people, I feel like it's so dumb. We're gonna talk about him actually in a bit. I have a question to ask about something he did. Okay. But yeah, I just feel so thankful that these people put themselves out there on a microphone and recorded themselves talking, and you know, especially the ones that got really vulnerable and honest about their lives and their struggles, because that's what I listen to podcasts for. I feel like it was comforting to me to listen to regular people, or maybe they're famous, whatever, talk about real life stuff instead of instead of watching a movie, you're hearing real stories that are relatable, and it's long form, so you feel like you're just hanging out with them on their couch at their house, you know? So yeah, that's why I was drawn to it, because I remember in college, like I had some low moments, you know. My 20s have been up and down like a roller coaster, like whose hasn't? But yeah, I remember in college going on long walks at night, because I get depressed real bad, especially around finals for whatever reason. Well, obviously I know why. I was just so like sad a lot. Okay. But I would go on long walks at night when I couldn't sleep around campus with my headphones in, and I listen to podcasts, and I swear to God, it like helped me so much. So, wait, why do I have a note here from this is from episode 12. I wrote 300 EPS, 300 episodes - feels delusional. What did I say on that? Maybe I talked about doing 300 episodes at the time. I don't know. Normalize it? Why did I write that? Cool. What a quinkydink. This podcast is free, joyful, and honest, like me. Episode 12, I wrote that. I said that too. I'm a kid having fun. No, I have no objective here. You can just make... Jacqueline, you just have to make the podcast you want to make right now. If you're happy doing what you are doing, then no one can tell you aren't successful. Shit, this was a good episode. If you're happy doing what you are doing, then no one can tell you aren't successful. Yeah, period. Like, that's like, if you, like, damn, like, it's not like I had people telling me, Jacqueline, you're unsuccessful because you're doing a podcast 7 days a week. It wasn't that. It's just like, maybe I just wanted to be inspirational and tell everyone that. Yeah. Oh, I wrote, the older I get, the more I realize I'm not going to solve all the world's problems. Yeah, I have a tendency, like I did earlier, to rant and bitch about the news and society and current events that are corrupt and stupid and wrong and immoral and blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a tendency to want to, like, say something about that and throw my opinions about it in there, my pissed off opinions. And I wrote here, episode 12, yeah, like, the older I get, the more I realize, like, hey, same shit, different year. You're not going to solve all the world's problems. There's always going to be chaos. There's always going to be war and conflict and corruption. And that's just life. That's just how the world works. It always has. Look at history. History repeats itself. Like, I'm at peace knowing that, or I guess it just makes my life a little bit easier, maybe, or not easier, but stress-free when I don't overwhelm myself with, like, oh, like, everything's fucked, I need to fix it. Like, I'm not... My way of contributing to society and improving the world and fixing the world's problem is podcasting, okay? I am here to be a light in people's lives, to be a friend in people's ears for them to listen to, and that's it. And you can, and by me sharing my stories and talking about, you know, life, it's probably comforting and therapeutic and helpful for people that listen to it. And yeah, if you're listening to me, you probably relate to me in some way, and that's probably why you like the show, and that's good enough for me. It's not like I need to go to CNN and like go to the top person and be like, fix it now, do better. Like, I don't need to go to the extremes like that, because it's not going to happen. I can talk about it all day long, but how do we fucking fix it, guys? What do we do? Independent journalism, that's what the people are talking about now. People are gravitating to that, and hell yeah. Taking our power back. Stand it up for our freedom and our rights and our country. All right. I don't know what else to read out of here. Guys, I've even talked about my ski weekend. Okay, dude, not to flex or brag or like show off right now, but isn't his name Tristan? Oh God, did I just stop the show? Okay, sorry. Who is the Social Dilemma interview on Rogan the other day? Take a shot every time I mention Joe Rogan. Tristan Harris. So Tristan Harris said on his episode with Rogan, he did like a follow-up Social Dilemma interview with him. And a year ago, I wrote this in 2020 when the Social Dilemma came out. I wrote, what if social media companies promoted... I'll just read all of this. I said, so Social Dilemma. I said the solution has to be fiscally oriented. Okay. Obviously, there's no money to be made then. Like, there has to be money to, like, yeah. Oh God, what did I write? What if social media companies promoted in-person activities and were paid according to attendance? I asked that question. These activities take attention away from phone use and encourage community and gathering. The cool thing to do is to spend, for example, like the cool thing to do is spend 1+ hours a day socializing, and the phone would be shunned. Yeah, like, and I wrote, can these companies fade? Can they take a pay cut for the sake of humanity? Sad face. It's a leadership in tech issue. Social media equals tool. Social media is not leisure. End of story. Vote with your clicks. Yeah, I wrote a lot here. But anyways, Tristan Harris had mentioned something about social media companies promoting or incentivizing people to meet and gather in person, something along those lines. And I was like, I said it first, not to flex on all y'all, but I thought it too. Sometimes I just want to feel cool, and I just feel so cool right now. What did I tweet? Like, I used to have a Twitter. I used to rant and talk a lot on there, but I thought it was really cool when I tweeted, the company that gets people back to the present moment first wins. I said something like that. Like, if there was a social media company or a company, and any company, that was so great, so just convincing of people, was so good at getting people off of their phones and off of technology to the point where they don't give a fuck about their phone anymore, and all they care about is community, gathering, in-person activities, socializing, like important human good for the soul activities and ways of living, then I feel like that's like a what do you call that kind of wishful thinking? Is that a little too pie in the sky? How would that happen? You know what I mean? Like, how would... Nothing's 100%. Like, I feel like it's just going to be people over time realizing that they're on their phones for 8 hours a day, and they're going to be fed up with themselves to the point where they heavily monitor and stay off of it and seek out, like, healthier uses of their time. But yeah, I feel like you're just the younger generation's like, how the fuck? I don't feel like we're going backwards. We're just going forwards with it, and it's only going to get worse. But I can dream. Can I dream? You know? Can we all dream? Imagine that. We're just sitting out, drinking lemonade together on our porches, in our city squares, playing Ring Around the Rosie, and talking about our day at work together with strangers. Like, you're actually on the bus talking to like, people just don't talk in public. People are so antisocial now, and everyone's on their phones. We all know this, but fuck. Yeah, I just thought that was cool though. Again, September 2020 I wrote that, and then I just listened to Tristan Harris say something similar, and I was like, I'm just full of great ideas, clearly. Woo! Episode 300. Drinking a sparkling water. All right, let's talk about my ski trip. So I told you guys last week that instead of going home to Washington for Thanksgiving this year, I was going skiing to Mammoth Mountain with my boyfriend, and I brought Jimmy, my golden retriever. He's sleeping right next to me right now. And yeah, let's get into it. Haven't been on a set of skis in 6 years. I went in feeling very confident about my abilities, though. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the reality of my abilities. And anyways, a little background about me and my skiing, my life of my journey on skis. I was a hotshot at 3 years old on skis. Okay. Also, this is my childhood flex. I used to tell kids on the playground I didn't use training wheels. When I was 3 years old, I got on a two-wheeler bike and started riding it, and I never had training wheels. So for some reason today, I just did this with the Social Dilemma notebook segment there. I'm feeling cocky and arrogant, and I'm feeling like tooting my own horn, and it is what it is. Hey, I'm not for everybody. If you don't like me, if you don't like it, if you're annoyed, if you're put off, if you're like, what the hell? You have a really high opinion of yourself, Jacqueline, and you need to stay humble. Well, tune out. You can unsubscribe at any point. You can get off you can exit out this app and delete my show. So I started skiing when I was 3 years old, and pretty much skied all the way up until college. Just about every season, here and there. Maybe I'd take a couple years off, but yeah, I had skied for forever. And for some reason in college, I went to Washington State University, and during the ski season, I would work on the weekends. I ran a little boutique. I ran a consignment boutique, a women's clothing / antique store, consignment store. And I feel like that might be there. I feel like, yeah, that's the reason why on the weekends I wouldn't go up and ski somewhere with people. And I just didn't think about it as much. I just like phased out of it. So long story short, we go skiing. He's like, hey, we should go skiing for things. My boyfriend's like a ski junkie. He's like me. He's skied his whole life. He's like Austrian. He's Austrian German. Yeah. And he's been on the biggest, craziest slopes of all time on this planet, and he's honestly he should just go pro at this point. Like, he's so good at skiing. So anyways, he suggested we go for Thanksgiving, and I said, hell yes, I really miss skiing, I want to go. So we get a little cabin Airbnb place. Should I just do the vlog part where I'm like, this is step by step what we did? I get my Mammoth passes. I didn't get an Icon pass because I feel like I'm not going to ski that much this year, so I just bought like the 3-day pass at on mammothmountain.com. Too many details, Jacqueline. Nobody cares. It's getting dark out. How are we doing? How are we looking on this camera right now? I'm wearing a Gap hoodie. It's like a vintage Gap hoodie too. It's kind of cool. Cool. So I get my passes, I rent skis, we pack the car. Oh my gosh. So we bought so much food because it's Thanksgiving, right? And we decided to go with a butterball turkey breast instead of the full-on turkey because there's only 2 of us. And yes, we got the butterball. We went to Vaughn's like 2 weeks prior to this trip. He had a family recipe for sweet potato carrots that he suggested we make, so we got all the ingredients for that. We bought Hawaiian rolls. You guys know in the last episode, you know how I feel about Hawaiian rolls. We got a Costco pumpkin pie. You also know from if you listen to the last episode how I feel about the Costco pumpkin pie. $5.99. Get yours today. I'm pretty sure they're selling them through Christmas, so they should still be available. And what else did we get? We got like boxes of cereal. We got just a bunch of candy, and I got a pack of Oreos for us. We got stuffing mix, gravy, just like everything. We got so much food. It was like by the end of the trip, when we packed up and left, we hadn't even opened like 90% of it. And then the night before we left, he shows up with two giant. He had gone to Costco for even more food. Like after we had gone to Vaughn's, after I went and got a few more snacks on my own. I think I went to Trader Joe's. After we did that, we went to Vaughn's, Trader Joe's. I went to Trader Joe's by myself and got more stuff. And then he went to Costco and got even more stuff. So we had like 4 total food shopping trips for this 4-day Thanksgiving trip. And he shows up with these Costco Danishes, like the big packs. They're like the size of my head, these cheese and apple Danishes. And I'm like, what in the fuck are we gonna do with these? What else did we eat? We made mac and cheese. We made my mom, when my mom came and visited me, she made me buy, because she's always like, what does she do? We went to Costco, and she always grocery shops for me when she comes and visits because she's nice and she's a mom and she thinks I don't ever have enough food. So she made me buy this German schnitzel because she's like, he's German, you should get this and have this for like a date night. So we ate schnitzel. I guess it's actually Austrian, it's not German. He told me that. The food was, oh god, he even brought like random stuff, like a Trader Joe's walnut chicken salad. My mom, oh my god, on top of it all, oh my god, okay, then I gotta get to the skiing part. On top of it all, my mom ordered Whole Foods to my door or whatever. She sent me a Thanksgiving food care package and gave us even more food. Like, what was a thing she got us this like breaded brie thing you like bake in the oven. She got cheese, crackers, chips, salsa. She bought a couple candles. She got just all kinds of stuff. So is Jimmy here? Jimmy's making an appearance. You're sleepy from the beach. Here, you want to come up? Come up. We're doing a little Jimmy break. You know what? You just sit there while I record. Oh, you smell like wet dog. It's okay though. You're sleepy. He got worn out at the beach. He's playing with other golden retrievers he found there. It's funny how their dogs are so racist or whatever. Like, they all gravitate to their own kind. They all do. Like, I feel like golden retrievers especially do that. Now, what does that say about Jimmy here? No, he plays with every dog, but I feel like they see dogs that, because they look so similar to each other, I feel like they see another golden retriever and they're like, oh my God, that's like looking in a mirror, and they're curious about it, and then they go play with them. But he's a sleepy boy right now. All right, anyways, the food was all insane, the amount of food. So skiing, let's talk about it. So one thing, Bubba, are you gonna sit there this whole rest of the episode? I don't know what to do. I don't suck at skiing, but when you're alongside a professional skier, I'm just calling him a professional, like, he would let me go ahead of him, and then out of nowhere, like 100 miles an hour, he would be shooting by me, doing jumps, skiing backwards, like going so fast, perfect form. And yeah, so I've never had that experience where I'm skiing with someone that good. So that's what Jimmy, he just knocked down Walter. Whatever. We'll put my sparkling water there in place of it. It's kind of the same size. Yeah, I've never skied with someone that good. So then I started to notice, okay, wow, I suck, or I'm just like not even close to that good. And granted, I hadn't skied in 6 years, so of course, right, I had to brush up on my technique. And it was great. Like, he was really helping me with the subtlest things. Like, I could probably educate a new skier out there on how they should ski correctly in proper form, because he was telling me like the most, like, I probably learned. So by the end of the trip on Sunday when I was skiing, I probably had 25 tips in my head and subtle little like adjustments and things to think about while I was skiing, you know, depending on if I was skiing like the type of slope or whatever, the speed. Like I just learned so much. So yeah, it was super helpful that he knew he's good at skiing, because I got better in a really short amount of time. And yeah, it was great. Super relaxing trip. All we did is we would ski. We packed leftover turkey sandwiches on the mountain, and oh my God, best thing I ate all year. Like, I made so we used Hawaiian rolls. I made them. Mayo on the bottom. His family's sweet potato carrot casserole on the top bun. These are on the top and bottom bun. Turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing. I think that's it. Oh, so good. Like, I know everyone's like, why don't we eat Thanksgiving dinner more often? Why don't we do this more? Like, why don't we have this all the time? And that's how I always feel. But then I'm like, the reason why it's so good is because we don't have it that often, and it tastes so much better. Jimmy's chewing Walter now like a chew toy. Hey, bud, bring it back. Jimmy, come. It's not a chew toy. Jimmy, go get Piggy. I'm teaching him what his toys are named so he can go like pick them up. Nope, Piggy. Fuck. Rest in peace, Walter, the snowman. Jimmy, fuck. He's gonna eat the snowballs off his basket. I'll report back, guys. I got a podcast. I can't stop this. So yeah, all we did is ski. It was busy as hell. Oh my God, the first day on the Friday. So we drove up on Thursday, and on Friday it was like a zoo. The lines weren't too bad, but it was definitely crowded. Everyone does skiing on Thanksgiving, I feel like. A lot of people do, and they come up from LA, and I guess pretty much just LA and San Diego. People go up to Mammoth. Yeah, and then we get done skiing, we'd make hot toddies and lay around on the couch, and we watched Harry Potter, and we'd watch HGTV and like just hang out. And yeah, it was so chill. We just ate and chilled and drank hot toddies, repeat, ski. It was so fun. And Jimmy stayed, if anyone's curious, he stayed in the Airbnb all day, and he did fine. It was a bigger place than where I live right now. And Jimmy did something bad though. So we got home from skiing, I think on the second day, and I walk in the door and I'm like, oh fuck. He chewed my boyfriend's Oakley goggles, like his backup pair, to shreds. Like he shredded them. And so I was like, fuck. And yeah, so I did an instant Amazon order, replaced them, no big deal. Jimmy's, he was on his bad side that day. He was, that was cool to see though. My boyfriend and him bond so well, or they had like that was like good that he came along, because they became little buddies. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything like wild happened. Oh, I wiped out. Oh yeah, my ski. Okay, this is what I learned. I was like so right. I was so confident. I was so like, I'm good at skiing. I've skied my whole life. I started when I was 3, right? And he was kind of giving me shit about the fact that I was saying that, because like in reality I was pretty. He what did he say? I'm like intermediate. I'm not advanced. I'm like intermediate. Like I can go down a black diamond, but I'm not like. I'm not, what is it called? I'm not charging hard. Okay. I'm not charging hard over the mountain. I'm taking my time. I'm practicing my technique. I'm kind of taking it slow. And anyways, but I was just like, at one point I'm like, look, what did I say? It was kind of funny what I said. I was like, I'm overly confident. I'm arrogant. I'm full of myself. I'm cocky. I'm too competitive. I listed all of these qualities about myself, and I'm like, I don't even know why. I feel like we were having a conversation. I was just like, that is what this is. And I was like making fun of myself too. I was like, I don't even know why I said that, but because like I'm actually not. But when I was talking about skiing, like that's how it came across, that I was being like, I was overselling it and over hyping my abilities. So yep, great ski trip, really long road trip, really long drive, but beautiful drive. We saw all the mountains, we saw Mount Whitney, we went through Alabama Hills. Where else did we go? We stopped at Schatz's Bakery on the way back, which is this famous bakery. Yeah, great trip. What else did I have on the show today? Oh, maybe next episode I'll talk about. I feel like I need to wrap it. Honestly, we're going a little too long. This is like if I had a bonus episode for Patreon, I'd do the reproductive robot topic. Earlier, Jim. Can you guys see him on camera right now? So cute, right? Like, how did I get so lucky? The other day, so this is my iPhone 7 Plus. I think I was going to mention this earlier. Or I said I was going to mention it earlier. The other day, I was looking for the first picture of him that I ever saw, and I found it, and it's so cute. I knew he was going to be a cute, like when he grew up, he'd be super cute, because his eyes, like in that baby picture, I was like, there's something about his eyes. He's got great eyebrows. Like, very expressive eyebrows, and he's got a award-winning personality, and I wonder where he gets it, because dogs are like their owners, and here I am. So like father like son, like mother like daughter, like mother like son. That's it, like mother like son. Woo! Podcast episode 300. Oh, so I'm posting content on my Instagram page for my show now. I'm posting like video clips and stories more often, so go follow the Jacqueline Monroe Show on Instagram. And the reason I was gonna bring this phone up because I'm going through my old screenshots, and I'm finding like old tweets and old notes and things I used to write and say, and I want to put together content. Like I want to make Instagram content, or like posts of it, because I feel like it's this stuff I used to say and think has never changed, and I feel like I need to start branding myself a little bit better. And yeah, so there's 25,000 photos and videos on my this camera roll, and I'm taking it one day at a time. I don't even know how people, honestly, I'm working like 100 hours a week right now. It's great. That's how it feels, at least. Invasion, great show. I don't know if you guys, this is like a random thing I just remembered, but Invasion. My boyfriend and I don't say invasion. We say invasion. Invasion. That's how we talk. That's how we say it. That's our show right now. We're obsessed with it. It's getting really good. The season finale is next Friday. It comes out next Friday, and it's gonna be great. So, Ozark's coming out in January 1st, right? Back on Netflix. What is it? Season 4. Ozark. Can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward to watching it. And do I have any other notes I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I think I mentioned, again, take a shot every time I say Joe Rogan. I was gonna talk about something like regarding him telling the world what he did to get over COVID, and just and I wrote a note here. I was like, why is it at all controversial that Joe Rogan tried to share publicly what he did when he got sick? Like, why is that even controversial to talk about? And then I wrote, the fact that he has to defend himself about being a good person, letting people know how he recovered from COVID, is so fucking stupid. And then I was going to tangent that, this might be for another episode, into something that I have gone through. And I actually recently talked to someone about, until 3 a.m, about being made to feel crazy or like a bad person when you're just trying to be kind and helpful. And it's like abusive and manipulative, and you start, what happens over time when you constantly get that feedback and you're constantly made to feel crazy is you start doubting yourself, and your identity breaks down, and you start you get really confused, and you don't know how to speak and act and I just shut down. So yeah, I could talk about that on another show, but again, yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that he even has to defend himself and explain himself on that whole topic about, what is it, ivermectin, and using that and all these other therapies or like remedies and supplements for coronavirus. It's like, he recovered, like, and this is just one person. I'm sure there's thousands of people that have done similar things, but it's like, why is it controversial? Hey, there's no money in healthy people, so gotta keep people sick. And yeah. Oh, I saw there's a great I wanted to read the comments on his post about the reproductive robots, and someone was so on point. They're like, so this is a thing, but we don't have any cures for cancer yet. The comments are so funny. Someone was like, Angelina Jolie is gonna adopt one of the reproductive robots, or like, it's so good. Actually, I have it here. I might read some in the episode. Let me pull it up. Yeah. Let's run it for president and get this all over with, someone said. Yeah, someone's like, and yet, ... there are no cures for any kinds of cancer. Yeah, so. Someone's like, welp, that's a wrap for humans. We had a good run. LMAO. Who the fuck decided this was a good idea? Someone said, yeah. Who else remembers life? I like the let's run it for president comment. Let's run it for president and get this all over with. Shit. Yeah, I mean, here's the headline if you guys need some context or background on what I'm even talking about. CNN posted, world's first living robots can now reproduce, scientists say. It's by Katie Hunt. This came out November 29th. First sentence here. The U.S. scientists who created the first living robots say the life forms known as xenobots can now reproduce, and in a way not seen in plants and animals. So check it out on, your local Google News your local favorite news site, your favorite, guys, I need to end the episode. Go Google reproductive robots. You can read all about it. It's wild. They're like little Pac-Mans. Your C-shaped parent xenobots collect the C-shaped parent xenobots collect and compress loose stem cells together into piles, which can mature into offspring. That's fucking wild. Jimmy successfully got me Piggy. Piggy, good boy. And I have bad news to report to y'all about Walter. And just as I predicted, Jimmy ripped the snowball off of his basket, so I'll have to glue that back on. He didn't destroy his little nose is still on. His little snowman nose is still on, but he went for the snowball first. He went for the ball first. Like, that is so my dog. Jimmy loves balls. What dog doesn't? You know what I mean? It's like, they're so obsessed with balls. Like mother, like son. You know what I mean? Episode 300, ending it with the innuendo, an inappropriate comment or phrase. God, I love sparkling water. When did I start? Do you ever think about drinking LaCroix and sparkling water? It's like, I've been doing it for so long now, but there was a time, I feel like college is when it started for me, but I can't believe I went from like birth till all the way through high school without drinking sparkling water daily. Like, now it's just part of life. I feel like everyone does it. It's like everyone's drinking an essenced water, sparkling, 0 calories, 0 sugar, there's like nothing in it. It's just water with like a hint of flavor, and it's wild. Jimmy, that's my ring. He's biting me now. I gotta end the show. All right. Wrapping this episode up with a final reflection about podcasting 300 times. You can do anything you dream of, okay? You can do, like, literally. If you think it, you can become it. If you dream it, you can do it. And a goal without a plan is just an idea, something like that. I don't know. Guys, I feel like I've got all these quotes in my head right now. I can't remember. But, like, just do it, okay? Not to quote Nike. I'm stealing it from them. But, like, yesterday you said tomorrow. Just do it. If you want a podcast, post it. Just do it. Record yourself. Don't be shy. Nobody cares except everyone's in their own head. Everyone's worried about themselves. No one actually cares that much about you, as much as you probably think. And once you get in the habit of doing something like this, or any dream you have, and you get in the flow, it's like flying. It's like freedom. You're just like, life is, it's so amazing. And I'm so happy. I used to hear people all the time talk about finding their passion and finding their dream career, finding their dream hobby. And I felt for the longest time like I never had something like that. I was always dabbling around, and I wasn't really committing to anything, and nothing was ever that exciting and that fun for me to the point where I would want to do it every day, like podcasting. So I feel very fortunate and blessed that I found that in my 20s, and I have a clear vision about my future with podcasting now and where I'm going with it. And I just feel so great. And thank you for, oh my God, this wouldn't have been possible without my beautiful listeners and all of your support and all of your amazing DMs and reviews. And honestly, like, it really means a lot to me that you're listening right now and that you have been for a long time. I think it's really cool that we can virtually hang out as strangers. We don't even know each other, but you guys, it's cool. Like, it's pretty sweet. And I just want to thank you for supporting me this whole time and sending your kind words. And it's the best. It makes this feel super rewarding and fulfilling when I know that it's people out there are, it's like improving their lives in some way, or it makes them happy, or they are entertained by it, or whatever. It's like it's improving their life. It's not taking away from it. It's like it's just like the best feeling. That's why I'm like, sometimes I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, you're just wasting people's time. You're just mumbling about nonsense in life. And it's all about, it's like, oh, Jacqueline, what are you doing? This is the most self-serving, self-indulgent thing ever. Like, it's all about you, and all you're doing. It's literally the Jacqueline Monroe show. Like, how is that helping people? Blah, blah. And I'm like, now I really get it. Now I really see how sharing my story is helping someone out there going through the same things. Or, yeah. Dude, everything ever is about storytelling. Follow your dreams. Jimmy is like, it's dark. Okay. What time is it? 4:49 p.m. Almost dark. Woo! We're going to end the show with a bunch of stuff for you to do. Okay, this is your homework. Get ready. I don't know if you got a pen and paper, but here you go. Patreon.com/TJMS if you want to support the show. Patreon.com/TJMS. Go check it out. $5 a month. That's where you can get access to my exclusive content. Go over there to figure out what I'm talking about. And it's not what you think. So yeah, go support me on Patreon. And subscribe on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow me on Spotify. Again, you can watch this now on Spotify. And it's super helpful if you leave reviews on iTunes, on the Apple Podcast iTunes. Does anyone is that the same thing? Is that where podcasts live? iTunes, right? The Apple Podcast store. What? I don't know. Okay, just leave me a review on the Apple Podcast app. It's on your iPhone probably. It might be where you're listening to it right now. I know half the people listen on Apple Podcasts. Leave me a review. Subscribe to my Patreon. Subscribe to my YouTube. Share this with a friend. Share this on your story. If you're listening to it, screenshot it, share it. And then follow me on Instagram at Jacqueline Monroe for life. Every day I'm posting about, my dog and what's going on and just random things. So follow me at Jacqueline Monroe on Instagram. And yeah, again, I just want to end episode 300 by thanking you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. This is cool, and I'm so, grateful for all you, and hope you're doing well. It's the holidays. I hope you're hanging in there, with the family drama. I don't know. Everyone just finished Thanksgiving. How did that go? I hope your family relationships are doing better this year than they were last year. I'm praying for you, because you know what? My family's got a lot of crazy shit. Crazy. Jimmy is biting my. This is bad discipline right now. He hates me because I'm talking to myself, and it's confusing him. But yeah, my family's got all kinds of chaos in it and stuff I never even talk about, but every family does. So I hope you're hanging in there with the family holiday stuff. I hope your job's going well. I hope your health is going well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're fueling yourself in a healthy way that's not making you feel like shit, and keeping your immune system up, because you know how important that is. I'm a big proponent or advocate of food is medicine, you know what I mean? So hope you're healthy. I hope you're happy. I could go on and on. Jacqueline and the show. How should I end it? I'm giving up caffeine for the new year. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm cutting back on caffeine. I'm cutting I'm going down to 2 espresso shots a day for the new year. Goodbye.